Welcome to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Cass McGowan, and we're here at the City Chambers to talk about a very important topic, historical Sandwich Town.
Firstly, from a historical view, Sandwich Town is the most historically rich community neighborhood in the city of Windsor. Really, is a neighborhood where everything kind of began, and we grew from Sandwich. And it's also going through an interesting time right now. We've got two international crossings that are right in Sandwich Town that are going to be constructed over the next 5 to 10 years. And there's a lot of other issues and opportunities that are going to be affecting the neighborhood that are very important that are happening in these next 5 years. So I think the timing of this discussion is very fitting.
And to also ensure that the historic infrastructure we have is maintained. So I don't necessarily mean that it becomes a museum of sorts where you can look at it from the outside and that's it. But you can maintain the look of a building on the outside and the historic value while putting new things in it, like a grocery store or even a museum, things that the public can access and learn about the history while we're also moving forward as the times move forward.
And I've had the pleasure of being at Marlborough Public School for the last 2 years. My practicums have all been located there through the LEAD program, and I volunteer there frequently for other initiatives and community initiatives within the school. And I have to say, commend Ron and Nino on their initiatives within the school to bring the community in as a large whole and build that sense within their school and the larger area. And as a future educator, I look for opportunities to engage my students in the community around them, their surrounding area, and to bring them out into that community and teach them about the rich history, and especially in Sandwich Town. Being in that area over the past 2 years has really opened my eyes to how wonderful the area is.
I used to think, and I don't mean to insult anyone around the table, I used to think that politicians were really, really smart. And I used to think that they knew far more than almost anybody. And then I grew up and found out that wasn't the case. Not that they're not smart. They are. Mr. Costante, Ms. Gretzky, these are bright people. But everybody in this room is bright people too. And if you have a concern that is your concern, and it's impacting you, then you know more about that than anybody. You are the expert, because if it's affecting you, you know more than the politicians do. You know more than your parents do. You're the expert. And if you're the expert, then you're the person who has the best opinion about it. And so you should be the one that expresses that opinion. And when Ms. Gretzky said, wear them down, don't forget, Ms. Gretzky's got thousands and thousands of people that she represents. And she's got maybe hundreds of people contacting her on a weekly basis. So if you contact her through an email or through a letter, that's one letter she gets. But if you write that letter and write that email and give her a call and talk to your friends and talk to your teachers and say, this is really important, then it becomes really important. And eventually you, the expert, gets to influence what's actually happening. And so that's how I got my students to understand that they were, in fact, the experts in the building. They were the experts in the room. So please don't ever forget that. During the rehearsal, I said, don't let this be the end. You're beginning today to do something for Sandwich, and you need to do that starting today.
Okay.